What's in a name? Juliet says to Romeo. Whether Shakespeare's belief that names are meaningless is problematic. Hi, I'm Jimi Hendrix, and this episode is called What's an EA-17? What's in a name? On Empower Your Pattern 2.0. Hi, I'm Jimi Hendrix, member of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, Success, Confidence, and Thrive Coach. I wish to let you know that there are patterns to help you receive more, help you live a better and extraordinary life right now. I also believe that there are spiritual and temporal tips to help you overcome the adversities in everyday life. So if you come with me, I will show you these patterns. Get ready. Let's go. I want you to step into the writer's man cave. We'll be using this particular motif periodically. And what better time for y'all to sit with me and enjoy a good beverage and celebrate. Yesterday, after slaving away, I got certified to be a sales distributor for Zoom Energy. Now, I don't represent them. Thank goodness. But it was recommended by my client that I do that. But anyway, I digress. We need to talk about what's in a name. Shakespeare says that in many ways names can be meaningless. But in many ways, I have to disagree. When I was 18 years old, I asked my mother if I could change my last name from Hendrick to my daddy's name, which I'm going to find the meaning of. The meaning of his last name. Okay, I'm looking. Courageous and daring, which is cool, but I have gotten my meaning of my own name. Because you see, my mother wanted me to tap more into my birthright. So, of course, I feel like I have tapped more into my mother's line of family birthright more than I have my dad's. Because in many ways, sadly, it's a miracle. It's a mystery. But anyway, I digress. I'm going to go ahead and go into what each name means. You know, many of y'all know me as Jimmy, but you know, James Hendrick Empowerment. So, James means supplanter, which is another way of saying substitute. So that helps. And then Anthony means priceless. Something which I like. And then Hendrick is like from Henry and also Heinrich, which means home ruler. So therefore, the substitute priceless home ruler. And I gotta say, that's pretty dang fitting for someone that wants to form some home businesses and grow and just develop myself in a way that, well, many of you know you're probably thinking, why are we getting back into the personal? Well, let me give you a little bit of background in my life. It was the summer of 1995. I had 3 friends, though I was hanging out more. Well, there was my friend Jim Bob, but the main ones were Brad and Julie, and Julie's friend Josephine. And one time we went to have lunch at Josephine's house, and she had these books laying around where you could find the meanings of your name. And she and Julie impressed on me the need, the desire to find out what the meaning of our name was. Of course, it really didn't start getting hold of me until one day, 2019. I want to say around August. The Lord asked me to look and find out what the meaning of my full name was. And so that's what I did. I looked it up. And it was obvious to me that, at first I thought it meant he who follows is a wise home ruler. But now that I've had a look at it, it's substitute priceless home ruler. Now, I don't understand exactly what that means. But I think what it means is, at least for me and my personal development, that even though I have disabilities, it's kind of like, shoot, I can still be a successful entrepreneur. I can still go into what God has called me to do, be, and have. I can still be successful in business, if you know what I mean. I mean, home rule. Granted, I don't have a wife and children, in many ways, a family of my own. But the one thing I do have is this belief in myself that I can form a home-based business and lead a class of people who want to save money, make money, want to achieve more, to, achieve a better and extraordinary life. Yes, I live in, humble circumstances, but they're better than some. They're better than some. But here's the thing. The meaning of your name. The one thing I got from Julie and Josephine is that, our names have special meaning to God. Now, I've also looked it up according to some Hebrewisms. And James also means held by the hand of God. Protected. So, knowing the meaning of your name is just very important. And this, what's in a name, it may have some stature and everything, but it don't mean anything. I mean, I think in my case, yes, it does. I can see why my biological father, wanted me to keep my last name Hendrick, because, to be honest with you, I'm starting to really like that name. And since I don't really know what it means, according to his perspective on how to be a Hendrick, it's kind of like the Lord said to me, well, why don't you go through what my expectations are in being a Hendrick? Because the way you are, you're open, you're accepting. you're an empath. And I have been all three of these for, well, much of my life. It's scary that I have, and there's nothing wrong with being like that. So I want to issue you guys a challenge in the last few minutes. I want you to, when you get a chance, go home. Now look through some books that have the meanings of names, or look on YouTube. Not YouTube. Google, and check on the meaning of your name. And I do your full name. Okay, this is my recommendation. I do your full name. That way, it's there. It's out there. It's given. Because I don't think there's very many people that have your full name with similar circumstances. The Lord has made us a unique pattern. And it's up to us to find the meaning of that pattern so we can tap into the patterns of success, right? I mean, let's be honest with you. It can be tough when you're trying to slog through some business materials to try to get certified to sell, a certain product. I get that. But it can be also rewarding to see eventually what the finished project is. And just be able to praise the Lord and know that He gave us our name for a reason. So, like I said, I want you guys to think about this. All right? Because it's the meaning of that name and some of the concepts I'm going to be producing in a couple of days that is really... Sometimes the Lord puts you in places and situations to where you find out who you really are. And yesterday was one of those. I knew I was getting frustrated, but I also knew, hey, you tried it these different ways, you tried it that different way, and then what do you know? The Lord showed us a different way, and it's like, boom. The Lord showed us, and we got this. The Lord took care of us, and nurtured us, and stuff like that. And, this is the thing. I think it's important you find out what the meaning of your name is, okay? There's Christian books out there to look at that. There's Google. It's been so many years since I discovered the meaning of names. I'm not sure what all resources are available. But you can see. So, there you go. The Lord gives us, our parents gave us a name. And those of you who are in a covenant relationship with Jesus Christ, you also are given a name. And you know what that name means. The Anointed One. The one that brings salvation, right? He's the one that brings salvation. And you learn. You grow. You strengthen. And the Lord helps us. The Lord helps us in so many different ways. And so that's why you need to stay strong in knowing what your name means, okay? Always knowing what your name means and just let it seep down into your soul. Okay? Because I'm going to tell you something. Modern society, I don't think even thinks to wonder what the name of their children might mean when they give them to them. You know, it's just a name. But to me, based on some revelation I received from the Lord in the Lubbock, Texas temple, the name our parents give us can have some sacred meanings. And I'm grateful. I mean, things may not always be perfect between me and my biological father, but I am sure grateful that he gave me his namesake. Now, I'm not sure what type of footsteps it is for me to follow, so I just follow the footsteps of God, if you know what I mean. What he says in the scriptures, in the Bible, if you know what I mean. Because that's the only way you step into it. You know what's in a name, what it means, and how far it's going to carry you. And so with that knowledge of what is in a name, tomorrow's episode, I am going to be doing a full announcement on video and podcast of my business. With that, I hope you enjoy listening to Empower Your Pattern 2.0. If you like what you hear, please subscribe, become a part of Pattern Realm. This is Jimi Hendrix saying until next time, don't just sit there and take it. Build your dreams so you can take it. Do what others don't so you can be what others won't. And do what others won't so you can have what others can't. Choose, act, and pursue happiness. God bless each and every single one of you guys, okay? Take care. Remember, you were given a sacred calling on this earth. Find out what it is, and God bless every single one of you.